replays on. We're gonna start out with a good song this morning, and this, you got accents away the positive, eliminate the negative. You got accents to hate the positive, eliminate the negative, like John, to be a perfect romance with mystery. Great job, to the maximum. What did they do?
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Steve Van Meter, your saint for the day. And we've been expecting you. Thank you for not disappointing us. And welcome home again. We're going to do what we do every Sunday, which is recite our vision mission statement, which is up on the screen, which says, "We are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to developing consciousness through teaching spiritual principles. So we're glad that you decided to join us here this morning. I know you have a lot of spiritual destinations that you could be at, but you found yourself here. This is the place to be. You made it. Sit back, enjoy, relax. We have a 7-hour program planned. We have a lot going on today, and we're going to start with having Dave lead us as we sing "We Are One." Okay?
I'm going to jump ahead and do a few announcements real quick first, and then I'll invite Bucky up because I do have a few announcements to cover with everybody. My name's Jamaica. I'm the board president. Hello. And if you guys haven't noticed, we love festivities around here, and we are having some today. Make sure you stay and hang out after the service. We are having our chili cook-off. I could smell it when I walked up. I don't know about anybody else, but oh my gosh, it smells so good. So be sure to hang out afterwards, enjoy some chili, vote on the chili, and then we're also having our game day. So if you want to hang out, enjoy some fun food and fellowship, we would love to see everybody, all these beautiful faces here still. And then, reminder, next Sunday, we are having a very special event here as well. Next Sunday, March the 19th, we are going to be celebrating our 45-year celebration of this center. Stay after the special service. We're going to have refreshments, and we're also going to have a very special video featuring the history and talking a little bit about our center. So it's a great way to learn more about our beautiful home here. And then rolling forward into April, can you guys believe we're in April almost already? How did that happen? I just, wow. So April 2nd is going to be our new members orientation. So if you are a new member or an existing member who would just like a refresher, be sure to join us for our new membership orientation. We will have copies of our bylaws available along with member responsibility and privilege information. And we'll also be available to answer any questions that you might have. After that, April the 9th is going to be Easter Sunday. So we're going to celebrate all things new on Easter Sunday. We're also going to celebrate our new members. So we're going to have a special celebration. We're going to extend, normally our potluck is the first Sunday of the month. We're going to have it that second Sunday. We're going to celebrate Easter, celebrate our new members, and have a wonderful potluck. So be sure to join us on Easter Sunday, which is April the 9th. Yeah, I know. All right, April the 1st, just a FYI to let everyone know, we are going to be moving away from our Banco app. That is the app that we use on our website where if you want to make donations online. We're going to be moving over to the Square. We do anticipate this to be a very smooth transaction and easy for everyone, but if you do have any complications or questions, please contact myself or Reverend Steve, and we'd be happy to walk you guys through it or help out with that. We want to give a special thank you to all of our participants who are participating in the pledge drive. Our goal is 80,000, and up to date, we have received pledges for 53,917. So thank you guys very much. Our leadership team to plan ahead and kind of know what we have to work with in our budget. Okay, guys, do you have some musical talent you want to share with us? Yeah, we all do, right? We all have something we can do. Are you wondering how to share your musical talents with the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living? If you are interested in singing fun music with a group of like-minded singers, we are having a potluck gathering for anyone who is interested in sharing music. And I love even Reverend Steve points out, anyone can bring a tambourine even, guys, right? So we can all do that. So this informative meeting will be happening this coming up Wednesday, March the 15th, right here at the Grants Pass Center for, right here. At 5:30 p.m. And if you have any questions, there is a sign-up sheet back there and you can talk to Ms. Tracia about that as well. And just to let everybody know, our metaphysical book study group does continue. That starts at 9 a.m. right here in the conference room. That's led by Reverend Steve, and they are studying Living the Science of Mind by Dr. Ernest Holmes right now. And then when you're all done with that, you could pop over to our new meditation group that's happening over in the LEC. That starts at 9:50 and goes to 10:05. And that's just a time where we come together in the silence and do a little meditation before we hop over here and get ourselves all juiced up in our Sunday service. So last but not least, one more and then I'm done, I promise. Our beautiful Wendy is having her dream catcher class is happening. The workshop is still going to continue this afternoon. It does start at 12:30, but she knows we have lots of goodies happening. So if you want to participate over here, you can still kind of mingle your way over. If you're a little bit late, it's okay. She's got some smaller stuff. She can work with us. And so you're able to do it all if you want. No worries. And that is the final, that's it. The final ending. Thank you. And I will ask Ms. Bucky to come up now. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Bucky Dennerline, and I'm one of the practitioners here, and I invite you to join with me right off the bat here to say our gratitude together. How grateful I am to drop any masks I wear, letting my true self shine. Well, good morning and welcome to everyone. So great that we're all here and that I'm here. Oh my goodness, with this time change, I tell you, what a challenge. Oh, thank you. Well, you know, some of you might wonder what a practitioner is. And so a basic little description here is that our main job is to pray with and for you. And we're dedicated to your confidentiality and healing as we undertake these prayers with you. We've taken several years of classes in the science of mind to become licensed practitioners. And we also teach classes and workshops here. If you're in need of prayer, or if you want prayer, I mean, my gosh, who doesn't want prayer, right? If you're in need, or if you're in like joy and you just want to just like pray it up even better, call on us, please, call on us. We can talk with you and one-on-one after the service, if you like, and you can see Paula Peterson, who is our practitioner, on the back table. She's standing right back there with a beautiful little crown on, and she can direct you to someone. There are several of us here today who could, if you'd raise your hand, if you're a practitioner who's available for prayer. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of us. There we go. We're all here. So prayer in person, one-on-one after the service, if you like. Also, if you would prefer to do it in a written form, we have the little forms in the seats. And if you're online, thank you. You can play. And if you'd rather do it that way at home, use our online prayer request at our website, grantspasscsl.org. And our phone numbers are in the program as well. So please please call on us. Whether it's an issue that you want to resolve or just experience more good in your life in any way, we're here for you. So thank you, Paula, for being here and holding that high watch for us as we go through our service today. Flowers today. Oh my gosh, Barbara, you have done your skill. So let's get started. And since we did not get to do birthdays last month, we're going to get to do them this week. If your birthday's in March, please stand and we're going to sing to you. Happy birthday. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Oh, well, if there's anyone who's here for the very first time today, we have a gift for you. Would you please raise your hand and Reverend Steve is going to bring you a little packet. Oh, wonderful. And Reverend Steve, there's somebody up in the front here too, right up in the front row. Great. Thank you all for raising your hands, for showing up, and we're so glad you're here with us. Please join us after the service in this wonderful potluck we have going here today. There's plenty of food for all. We'd love to get to know you and you get to know us too. Oh, if you haven't turned off your cell phone or other device, please do so now so it doesn't beep during our service. And let's get ready for settling into our service by reading our prayer together. It's on the screen. In the past, I may have tried to hide behind masks to protect my heart and feelings. I'm willing to show myself in splendor and magnificence, knowing I'm the best me I can be. And so it is. Let's sing together as we sing. I am one. Well, this is our time to prepare to receive all the good that's in this service. And today, right at this core of what and who we are, this center is spirituality. Right? It's in our name. It's the core tenet of the center. It's the belief that all people are connected by something greater than themselves, and that it allows people to lift some of the burdens of life from their own shoulders and give them to a higher power. This also creates purpose and perspective, generating empathy and drive in the process. It's a practice which allows us to develop high levels of resilience, the ability to recover from trauma, to let the past be the past, and to live in the present with a wholehearted approach. Now, why would we want to live in this way, in this wholehearted way? I ask you, have you ever felt like you were sitting at a stop sign with one foot on the gas and the other one on the brake, spinning, not going anywhere, stuck, closed off from the flow. As we prepare to receive Reverend Steve's talk today, all about the masks, I ask you to reflect on how authenticity shows up in your life. Brene Brown, in her lecture series, The Power of Vulnerability, breaks down the various aspects of shame and addresses the importance of vulnerability. Vulnerability. She offers 10 practices that you can use to embrace vulnerability and start living a wholehearted life. At this time, I invite you to ponder her first couple prompts with me. Please feel free to close your eyes and take a couple of deep centering breaths as we begin. We will go into the silence for a couple of minutes after these 3 prompts. When someone asks you to do something that you don't want to do or don't feel you can do without overwhelming yourself, say no. You may frustrate some people when you begin to do this, but agreeing to do something you don't want to do builds the foundation for resentment. Be willing to say no. Conversely, if you find a project or venture that you're genuinely excited about, say yes. Often the prospect of imperfection or ineptitude may keep you from diving in, from not being perfect. However, if you allow fear to dictate your behavior, you'll never be willing to try these new things or engage with projects that excite you. Be willing to say yes. And thirdly, create a mantra, a phrase, a short, simple phrase that allows you to remember your truth, your authenticity goal. Repeat this phrase to yourself before entering high-stress situations to remind you to practice authenticity. For example, if your goal is to accept that your needs are important enough to say no to things, the mantra you could say to yourself is, my needs outweigh others' expectations. And now, knowing that God is right in the middle of every thought, every desire, every action in our lives, I know that this time is blessed, that this service is blessed, and that each one of us is blessed as we go forward, being our authentic selves. I'm so grateful for this truth, and I release this prayer, knowing it's already done. And so it is.
So it is.
Well, let's have some special music from Dave before we hear from Reverend Steve.
Well, this morning, folks, I have a song that takes you back to the 1960s. And those of us with us have been fortunate enough to live through the 60s have a lot to remember. Like Ruby and Far Out, Flower Child. Anyhow, some of the lyrics in this song will take you back time to 1966. And it's a song called Happiness. That's what happiness is. Happiness is. Happiness is. Happiness is. Different things, different people. That's what happiness is. To a preacher, it's a prayer, prayer, prayer. To the Beatles, yeah. It's a yeah, yeah, yeah. To a golfer, it's a hole in one. To the father, it's a brand new sun. Happiness is. Happiness is. Different things, different people. Happiness is. To a beatnik, it's his beer, beer, beer. To a monster, something weird, weird, weird. To a night owl, it's a good day's sleep. To the Yankees, it's a 4-game sweep. Happiness is. Happiness is. Different things to different people. That's what happiness is. On a desert, it's a drink, drink, drink into the showgirl. It's a meek, meek, meek to the banker. Lots of dough to a racer. It's a GTO. To a sailor, it's the sea, sea, sea. To my mother, why it's me, me. To the birdies, it's the sky above. But to my mind, it's the one I love. Happiness is. Happiness is. Different things to different people. It's what the happiness is, yeah. That's what happiness is.
Let's hear it for Dave Flake. At least I know where they are. gonna wear a mask, be cool. Well, welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spirituality. We wear masks sometimes to identify ourselves in different ways, to protect ourselves, and also to fit in. No? That's all you get. That's okay. My little cool emoji. If you're gonna be an emoji, be the cool emoji. Well, our topic this month is cultivating authenticity. And living an authentic life is why we came here. We came here to be, do, and have what only you can do. The topic today is dropping the mask and the bushels. We wear masks in celebration, for fun, to be safe. Masks that are worn for our hearts may keep us safe until they don't. Vulnerability empowers us to drop the mask and let our light so shine that others shine also. We're here to live out loud, and that means for us to fully express who and what we are. And you have come here to be something, to do something, or to have something, some experience for your ultimate growth. Throughout this month, we'll be exploring the practice of cultivating our authenticity, our ability to be real. Get real, man. Get real. See, authenticity empowers us to step into all the areas of our life. Are you being authentic in every aspect of your life? Are you telling a fib somewhere to somebody? If you find yourself telling a fib, at least be honest with yourself. At least be honest with yourself about what you're fibbing about. Because the infinite, who knows you closer than your breath, is not fooled. It can't be, because it is who and what you are. So be real with yourself, even if you're telling a little white one to somebody else. Brene Brown says, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we really are. So who are you really? That's from Brene Brown's The Gifts of Imperfection on page 50. So cultivating authenticity is not about becoming something other than who we are. Rather, it involves us releasing the patterns of thought, attitudes, and actions that act as the barriers to those things. And I told a story last week. We were on Zoom, and I was in this workshop called LifeSpring. I don't know if any of you know LifeSpring, and it's just it's a personal opening. It's kind of like Est was back in the day, but they don't take your water. And I was with a trainer, and we were doing this thing, and you were supposed to be vulnerable. And I was laughing through the whole thing, and he pulled me aside and he said, if you're not gonna really participate, you can leave at any time. And I was like, no, I want to be here. And he goes, okay, go back with the group. And I couldn't participate fully. So he said, look, we're gonna have to ask you to leave. And it's been, I think it was $1,000 for a 3-day conference. And that hit me in the pocketbook. And I was like, okay, you're making sense now. What have I got to do? What do I have to do? And he told me something, and it made me cry right away. And then I cried and cried and cried, because I hadn't cried in so long that I had all this pent up energy about crying in front of people. And, once the faucet was opened, my authentic self poured out everyone. And at one point he goes, okay, that's enough, you're good, you're gonna stay. You don't have to cry all the time. And I was like, if I did any experiential, if we held hands, I just pour, because I had opened up that part of myself. And what he had said to me was, have you ever had an animal pass away in your family? And I was like, oh boy, hit me where it hurts, you know, and I relived that experience and I was immediately in tears. As I'm sure, you know, that's what happens. I mean, you go right back to that moment. And that opened up all these other moments for me where I had not grieved. And like I said, you couldn't turn it off, but it changed how I became authentic in the world, because I knew that it was okay to cry. You know, they say, big boys don't cry. Big boys cry all the time, because then you're in touch with who and what you really are. You want to cry. You don't want to push that stuff down. What happens is, if you ever had a beach ball in the pool and you try to keep it underwater, you know, and you push it down and they keep trying to come up, you sit on it, you know, and it's, you know, kind of trap out, and all of a sudden it pops up. Because stuff pops up that we don't deal with. What we have to learn to do is to take the little plug out and slowly deflate the beach ball. And then it won't come up when we least expect it. You know, like when we're cursing the avocados for not being ripe. Why are there no ripe avocados? See, by taking up this practice, we develop courage to be vulnerable, to stand up in our truth. And this month, as we explore those parts of ourselves, and we begin to learn how to live out loud. Human beings wear masks at different times for different reasons. We wear masks for fun during the holidays and at parties. We wear masks in the theater and the arts. You know, that's the yin and the yang, the smiley face and the frowning face. During the pandemic, masks were worn to help prevent infection, but not all the masks are physical. Each one of us wears a different mask at a different time. Depending on the situation we're in, we find ourselves grabbing for different masks. Oh yeah, I know how to change that tire. Do I know how to wear the lug wrench? We may say we know something because we think we know something. And then when the rubber meets the road, we may call AAA to change that tire. There are times and situations that we wear masks to change or hide who we are, to protect our hearts and emotions. You know, we don't want to get hurt. We don't want to be embarrassed. You know, hiding what we think and feel becomes an MO. As a very little baby, we realize that if we cry, we get attention. And so maybe we have not grown out of that, and we're an adult crying for attention. It would be similar to hiding our light under a candle, or our candle under a bushel, or a basket, if you will. And I was like, when I saw this title, under the Bushels basket, I was like, what is the bushel? I had to look that up. But it's something that covers your light. It's something that would be interfering with you shining your light. While it may keep us safe, it becomes a problem when we do this so often that it becomes our identity and we forget who we are. This keeps us from experiencing a connection or an intimacy. Intimacy is being open. It's not sensual, but it can take that energy. Being intimate means being in close proximity to your spiritual nature. And when you're being your most authentic self, you are being intimate as only the spiritual energy of the universe can. Having the courage to be vulnerable, to drop our masks and let our light shine and be seen by others, can create authenticity in other people. When other people see that you're doing it, it's okay for them to do it. you know, when we're singing here and clapping along, somebody may jump up and clap, and you may not be spontaneously eager to do that because you don't want to be the second one to do it. But if everybody starts doing it, you're all right, okay, if everybody's doing it. But it's that sensation of, is this safe? Am I safe here to do this? It is the nature of life to fully express itself, and everything living and every living being has this impulse because life is operating through it, through us. And like nature, when it stirs and wakes itself from winter, reaching out to express itself through the new growth, it's a glory to be seen. Even right now, here we are in, you know, it just snowed, well, not last week, but the week before. And there's little things coming up, pushing up through the snow. You know, the universe knows something about how nature works. And it knows that the snow will melt. It may take longer in California, but that's another story. At least this year. Don't have to worry about the snowpack this year. But see, 1 year isn't going to do it. We need to do this on a regular basis, right? Each one of us has the desire to be seen and to know and to be known just the way that we are. Simultaneously, there is this instinct to protect, which seems to be vulnerable within us. We all wear that mask at one time or another to be something other than who we truly are. And wearing a mask protects us from our vulnerability, while inside we want to tell people what is really going on in our lives, but we fear that rejection, so we hide. It's what we do. It's how we get through sometimes. We hide. Animals in nature can hide right out in the open through their camouflaging and blending in. And because of our instinct to protect our hearts, minds, and bodies, we may hide and blend in also. We may all of a sudden decide, you know what? I'm gonna sit in the back or close to the door so I can get out as soon as I need to. Having the courage to embrace our vulnerability and let our light so shine is the way through our fear. It's the way that we journey to our higher self and completely living out loud. And I have a couple Ernest Holmes quotes for you. Number one, there is something which awaits only our recognition to spring into being, bring with it all the power of the universe. That's Ernest Holmes' Creative Mind and Success, page 31. See, the infinite is not going to superimpose itself by getting you out of hot water every time you think it should. It has to be asked. Because if it could do that, we wouldn't ever have any challenges because the universe would just supersede without our invitation. But we must ask for assistance. But once we do, it activates the universe and all of a sudden, all this assistance starts to flow into us. But if we don't ask through our prayer, through seeing a practitioner or a therapist, or letting the universe know we mean business about solving our challenges, we will hang on to our challenges. Number two, this is Ernest Holmes in Richer Living, page 9. Any sense of guilt we have, any burden of condemnation we entertain, or any mental state that weighs us down hinders us from more fully experiencing the nature of spiritual reality. What's your spiritual reality? I mean, what's your hidden dream? Maybe you've not told anyone ever about what that is. Maybe you're not even honest with yourself about really having that, wanting to sing or wanting to be an astronaut or an accountant or fill in the blank, whatever you want to be, do, or have. Quote number 3. This is Ernest Holmes' Discover a Richer Life, page 58. Life is not just something we endure, it's to be lived in joy, in fullness, and without limit. And some of the only way we can do that is to really let down our guard. Sometimes we really have to let down our guard and we say, I might get hurt. I might get hurt. You know, somebody once told me, don't love too deeply because you're going to get hurt. Now, apparently this person has been hurt terribly by a love that they had. But if I had listened, I wouldn't have the experience of deep, resonant, spiritual love. Don't hold back. Now's not the time to sit on the sidelines. You benched yourself. You know, if someone has written you a pink slip in life, write yourself a green one. You know, that's just telling you that's just not the direction you need to go in. You know, all of life's challenges are GPS, God's positioning system, telling you either yes, that's the way you should pursue, or no, that's not the way you should go. But if you run into resistance, it's okay to try to work it out, but don't overdo it. Don't so exhaust yourself to trying to make something happen. You see, the things that are supposed to happen in our lives are easy. It doesn't mean you don't work. It means you don't get caught up in the work. See, ours is to choose. Do you know what you want to be, do, and have when you grow up? Well, I think we're all still working on that. My 3 talking points. Number 1, when we wear masks, we keep parts of ourselves hidden that deserve to shine. The reason for wearing a mask can be both positive and negative. Some of the reasons might include to hide our fear or anxiety, to be liked and accepted, to hide from that feeling of vulnerability, sadness, depression, or anger, or to show masculinity or femininity, and at times to manipulate, to be in that place of, well, I'm going to act a certain way to get a certain thing. It's our poker face. You know, you ever played poker with a good poker player and they've got 4 aces and they don't even grin? That's a good poker player. If you can just be normal, just be natural. Normal and natural are settings on our dryers, by the way. What masks do we show to the outside world, to our family, to our friends, to our business associates? Are we showing things like this? I'm confident. I am just fine. I'm in charge. I'm fine. And you know what the F-I-N-E, fine, is the acronym for. Look it up. Everything's good. I'm happy. To wear a mask of confidence, authority, perfection, even efficiency, when that is not what we're feeling, may be the appropriate response in the moment. But when we're hiding who we are, we will remain in the space of always guessing where the next threat is coming from, because we're not standing in our truth by not standing in our power. Ouch. The problem with masks is that when they become the norm and we lose ourselves in the process of trying to please others, which brings me to my second point. Light is to be revealed, not concealed. It is exhausting to be what you are not. When we tell the truth, we don't have to remember anything. That's Mark Twain. When you tell the truth, you don't have to remember what the lie was and try to repeat that. Just tell the truth, and then you don't have to remember anything. I love that. It makes it so easy. It takes a toll on us when we're working on being to others what we are not for ourselves. Think about that. How much energy have we spent trying to be something for someone else that they can only be for themselves? Yet we wear these masks or hide behind these masks because at some level we believe that on our own, our thoughts, opinions, or feelings are not acceptable. Dropping our masks are a way of restoring our own self-worth and respect, while hiding behind a mask may feel like it is keeping us safe, it is a false sense of security. Hiding not only takes energy away from us, it keeps us from experiencing a real heart connection with others. Instead of standing in our whole self of truth, we'll only see a two-dimensional mask that we hold up, displaying who we should be rather than who we really are. Pretending to be okay when we're not prevents us from being okay. See, if we're uncomfortable and we don't figure it out, we'll just stay uncomfortable. It's like having a headache and just constantly taking whatever your aspirin or ibuprofen or whatever it is, with not finding out what the cause of the headache is. If we just mask the pain in our lives and not address what it was that caused us pain and begin to heal that and untie that knot, we'll continue in that energy. So pain is a guidepost. It's showing us a direction that we need to go for healing. It's not a bad thing. Pain is a good thing. It's like a red light trying to get your attention. Over here, there's healing that can happen over here. Healing, healing, healing. Masks keep us tied to the past. We continue to play our part of the past experiences. To step into our present truth and power, we are asked to be continuously vulnerable. And that may be challenging for some people. You know, there's this thing called the family dynamic, or an archetype that we play. And in Joseph Campbell, you explore the meaning of archetypal energy. If you're, let's say, the youngest in your family, it's me, I'm the youngest of 4 kids. And whenever we would get together as a full family, I would play that role of the know-it-all that didn't know anything, or the, the part you play where the joke was always on me about, I'm gonna get the hand-me-downs or whatever it was. And we finally grow up into adults, but our parents may not recognize that we're full-fledged thinking beings now, and still treat us in the archetypical energy of the child. And this is why sometimes as we're growing up, we have challenges with our parents because we think freely. We don't always take our parents' advice, and that can be interesting. To put down our masks and remove the bushel of basket means that we are vulnerable. We must speak our truth, be who we are, be who life, the universe, knows us truly to be. And number 3, the risk we face is their reaction. How would people react if you were your real self? What would happen if you began to be courageously vulnerable? You would begin to show up differently because you, because you are allowing some of those hidden parts to be seen. Even if it is awkward, show who you really are. They'll get over it or they won't. That's on them. That's where they are in consciousness. Where you are in consciousness is what matters. If we worry about what other people think, we're never going to please everyone. So you might as well do what you want to do. And then you're happy, and that's all that matters. You may not want to, but ask for help. You wish you knew what they were thinking. So be the first one to open up. It's okay. You may not be good at it at first, but try it out. Try speaking your mind and dialoguing about it. Don't just drop a zinger and then run away. You want to talk things out. Do it in a way that makes everyone comfortable, but not everyone is going to be comfortable with your dropping of your mask. Feel your feelings, all of them. Feel them deeply. You don't have to explain them, And you are not required to explain a no. Just say no. I'm not doing that. That's just not for me. Assume others are trustworthy until proven otherwise. Clarify your boundaries. Only say yes to your yeses. You do not have to explain why you don't want to do something. That gets into the cause of the cause of the cause. And that's nobody's business but yours. You just say, no, not today. Our biggest risk is their reaction. And this is where we feel vulnerable. How will others reject us? Where you speak it is from your place in consciousness. Where someone else receives it is their place in consciousness. As we love ourselves more fully and practice being vulnerable completely, we will become less sensitive to the opinions of others. What if you didn't care what they think? There's a book called What You Think of Me Is None of My Business, Terry Cole Whitaker. What you think of me is none of my business, because that might influence me putting on a mask again. Don't worry about it. That's where they are. Get over it. If someone offers you a gift and you don't take it, to whom does the gift belong? This is Wayne Dyer. If someone offers you a gift of their opinion and you don't take it, to whom does the opinion belong? To them. You might say, I don't have to take that from anybody. If you do say it like that, you've probably already taken it into consciousness. But if you say, that's not mine, I don't have to take that. That diverts the energy like Tai Chi. That's just not mine. That's just not where I roll. Thank you for your gift. And I'm giving it back to you. So in conclusion, being vulnerable will always feel vulnerable. It's just part of the experience. So be okay with it. Get comfortable in your vulnerability. But with practice, we step into our power. We step into our courage. And all of a sudden, our life starts to shift. We start becoming attractive. People want to be around the energy of someone who is in touch with their higher self. You want to be around people who are successful in consciousness. They may not have a lot, but that's not what it's all about. It's about knowing who you are. When we are vulnerable with those we trust, we are also inviting them to be vulnerable with us. And that's where real love plays. Only go as fast as the slowest part of yourself, because this is the true level of your authentic self. You can only demonstrate at the level of your belief. That's why when we change our thinking and we open ourselves to other possibilities, we grow and we shift and we change and we morph. And it is from that authentic expression and connection that we can experience the love, the compassion, and the connection that we all seek and deserve. And so it is. Time for us to follow our teaching and go within. So let's take a moment and just connect with that energy. I invite you to bring to the forefront of your consciousness what you choose to believe the power that created you is. You can call it whatever you want, but there is a power that is always on. It is always expressing. It is always changing form. And you are the divinity made in an outpicturing called your life. You are the divine energy expressing as only you can. You have a divine fingerprint of the universe as who and what your life is. It can be no other way. We are all different, but we are all the same. And in that, We are unified as the power that created us. And knowing that allows the healing energy to be activated. Knowing that allows the love of the universe to sweep into our lives in such a profound way that a miracle happens and we begin to thrive. Things that used to elude us no longer are out of our spectrum of understanding. New things begin to be opened up to us, new connections are made, and a deeper love is experienced. So I may not know what you're working with right now, but whatever it is, let's see it as healed. Let's see it as completed. Let's honor the message that we're getting so that we may move through this in an authentic and loving and powerful way. That is the miraculous energy of healing that is happening right here and right now, as each one of us is focused on that love. So it is easy to be grateful. Thank you, divine energy of all manifestation. Thank you, divine wisdom and power, for the healing of my body, moving all the right cells to all the right places for the perfect healing. In the body of my affairs, for my relationships, my experiences, and my love for this universe. I am so grateful. So we let go. We release this word directly into the living, loving law of mind itself, and something has been transformed. We accept that as we let go and we let God be God as who and what we are. Affirming this together, I say, and so it is. Amen. Okay, so it is time for our offertory, yes. And you want to throw last week's offering in if you weren't here last week, that'd be great. It's difficult sometimes when you miss a Sunday because you can go online and give, but some people prefer not to. So we're glad we're here in person. Let's put our gift on our heart and recite our prosperity sharing affirmation, which says, with joy and peace in my heart, I glad to the center, which gives us so much to me. And so it is. There it is. Thank you, Dave. Just bless our offertory this morning. From the love of pure spiritual energy, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They're evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world of form. They bless the giver and the receiver and allow this center to thrive in a miraculous way. It allows this center to be open and available to those who are choosing to remember who they are, and even for those who may not know it yet. And for this entire community is blessed. And so it is.
Oh, it is.
Well, let's stand up and sing, shall we?
Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I know is free, and it's coming to me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. Sing again. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and it's done unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am, where I am. Right here, right now, where I am, right where I am. Right here, right now, where I
Hey, now for our benediction. Please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening right now.
Something wonderful is happening right now.
It's happening in my mind,
It's happening in my mind,
in my body,
in my body,
body of my affairs.
body, my affairs.
I think it,
I think it,
feel it,
I feel it,
and I know it.
I know it.
Just feel it.
Just the way it is,
It is done.
just the way it is.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Have an awesome week, everybody. Stay for the chili cook-off and the game day. So blessings.